Elizabeth Keys is going to be speaking on the topic of Dubai as a travel destination. I'm Sharon, I'm filming this, and I'm also a part of the audience for this talk.
What if there were one perfect vacation destination? It would probably include beaches, interesting or unusual architecture, a variety of culturally focused activities and attractions, all while being safe, correct? Dubai has been specifically built to offer all of these things. Located in the United Arab Emirates on the coast of the Persian Gulf, Dubai is one of the most wealthy areas in the world, with a booming scene for contemporary art and unique architecture. It is also one of the safest cities in the world, and English is widely spoken, so communication barriers are not a large issue. The population of Dubai is just over 2 million, with only about 15% of these people being of Arab descent. This is interesting because, obviously, geographically, it's in an area where a much higher percentage of Arabs is usually common. The cultural diversity is due to the fact that it is on the coast of the Persian Gulf, making it a great place for trade, which also adds to the contemporary art scene. The median age is about 27, so a lot of new and younger perspectives are being brought in, also adding a contemporary perspective to kind of the traditional forms of art. Dubai is home to the world's largest mall, consisting of over 1,200 stores, an indoor skiing slope, which is very interesting, not very common. The tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, is also in Dubai, in the middle of town. And another thing that makes Dubai so appealing is the 42-stop above-ground subway system, I suppose, public transit system. It was constructed, in just under 18 months, finished in 2009. So as I was mentioning, the contemporary art, they're still developing this very heavily. This is the kind of a plan for the Dubai Museum of Contemporary Art. It hasn't started construction yet, but they are making headway into beginning that and kind of planning for what it's going to be able to offer, I suppose. Although Dubai is located in Asia near the Egyptian coast and the official language is Arabic, English is widely spoken there, so you don't have that clumsy issue of being a traveler, carrying a pocket dictionary, trying to speak to the locals and figure out, what's good to see. Something that also makes it very easy as a travel destination is how publicly available information about what there is there. Because it's so new and unique, I suppose, it's been very interesting and appealing for a lot of news corporations to write stories on it. So there's a lot of information available for anyone who wants to travel there. So no matter what your interests may be, Dubai is a wonderful and unique place to travel. There's no need to learn a foreign language, and due to the well-developed public transportation system, car rentals are not really necessary. Whether it be appreciating the art scene, shopping in the world-famous mall, or lounging on the beach, Dubai has something to offer everyone. Are there any questions?
Yeah, what about kind of religious limitations for visitors since it's in the United Arab Emirates? Do women have to wear, what are those called? Burqas?
Well, and that's not something that the people are forced to do culturally. It's not something that the women are forced to do religiously either. That's, I guess, a choice that they've made. In the hotel rooms, they do make accommodations for people who have these devout religious practices. They have arrows facing towards Mecca in each hotel room, so that when they have their 5 prayers, I suppose, daily, they know which way to face because it's traditional to face towards Mecca. And then they also have a bell that rings throughout the town that can be heard for those who wish to practice.
So if I come as a tourist, though, and I'm a Westerner, it would be okay to not, wear a burqa.
By all means.
Okay.
And for those who do practice, I mean, it's not obviously frowned upon to just begin praying when that bell goes off, because geographically that is common, that is a big religion there. So it's normal, I suppose. It's not exactly common here. It wouldn't be.
What's the population?
Just over 2 million. But it's growing now.
That must be challenging to bring in the food to a place like that,
How so?
where you can't grow much.
Oh yeah, just because it's like desert
Yeah,
completely.
it's desert and it's a small country, so
Yeah.
it's quite challenging to bring in food there, I would think.
Yeah. The location on the coast though would make that a lot easier, just because trade is such a big industry there. It used to be oil. That's what kind of got the whole thing going. But then one of the leaders of the country thought that, after a while, because that's a natural resource. Obviously, it's not an unlimited supply. So
Right.
after a while, that's going to be depleted. So he really started developing Dubai and kind of expanding it so that it could be more open to tourism and trade and things like that, other than just oil, because he didn't want the economy to depend solely on that industry. So,
That's smart.
yeah, I think that's part of what's made it so successful.
What's the square miles of that country? It seems like you'd fall off one side to the other.
It's very small. I don't know exactly, but yeah, it's very small. But they do have, like I said, these world famous skyscrapers. The Burj Dubai. This is a picture
Oh.
taken from the top of the Burj Dubai. And
Wow.
you can see these
They're
are
in
clouds. And the other skyscrapers, like it's a view down on the other skyscrapers. So it's this massive building.
They're
It's
nice.
like if you had the Empire State Building, it's almost two of them stacked on top of each
Wow.
other. Not quite. It's like
On the
Wow.
1 and a half, 1 and 3/4.
You allow base jumping from that?
They should.
How much would it cost to take a trip there from America?
It's because it is such a wealthy area. I mean, the hotels are very high. They hold themselves to
High-end.
very high standards. There's one of them there that has self-proclaimed them as a 7-star hotel. If you look at the standard, like 1 to 5 stars, and it's actually on a man-made island. It's very cool. Yeah.
Man-made.
So it is a little bit more expensive, but it's like ridiculously luxurious and kind of
Do
excessive.
they have
in
coupons
every-
for that place?
Just in the Sunday paper.
Yeah, coupon crawler, yeah.
I never heard of it. I mean, it's quite interesting that a place like that exists.
It kind of started to blow up in I believe it was the late 80s. It just kind of, that's when, I don't remember his name because it's very long, but one of the sheiks, the one that I was talking about, who decided that oil was not something to rely upon so heavily, he kind of started the whole tourism thing when the economy started growing so quickly, and they just started with all these new and futuristic developments. They were actually going to have one hotel that rotated. Each floor individually would rotate, so it had all these cool patterns, and they had concept art for it and everything, but it was last minute that the architect decided that it wasn't the best idea. I'm not sure if it was a safety thing or what led him to make that decision, but
That's amazing.
The thing was going to rotate?
yeah, each individual
Wow.
floor. It was, I think, one revolution every 90 minutes, which
That-
was,
That'd be pretty technically daunting because some of
Yeah.
the sand they have there is like flour, and it would get there and abrade their mechanisms.
maybe that has something to do
That's a
with the
good point.
decision
I
to-
would suspect.
Mm-hmm.
that would make
Yeah.
sense.
How about the highways? It seems with that.
Well, the public transit system they have there is really, I don't know, it has 42 stops. I can't think of the proper word, but it has 42 stops in such a small city. So I'm not
Stations?
sure about
Stations, maybe?
well, no, it's very, intricate.
Oh.
So there are 42 stops, and it's kind of a small area, so I don't know if, that's the main mode of transportation used in the city, or if a lot of the people have, personal vehicles.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, what the percentage of people who ride that versus driving themselves is.
And they have schools and everything like anywhere
Yeah, that's
else?
actually one of the draws to it is you get free education, and a lot of people actually have free housing and healthcare as well. So it's a great place. That's why there's so many young people there, is because it's a great place to go, like, get started, I suppose. For lack of
Socialized?
a better term. Yeah, it's very, I don't know, it's very cultural.
Socialism?
Yeah.
Sounds like.
It's a very just cool place culturally, because you have like this melting pot, even more so than in the U.S., of just all these different cultures coming together with, like, you know, all these different things they have to offer. So the majority of the population there, I think, is actually from India. So still Asia, just different.
It's probably the labor.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a very interesting place to learn about.
Thank you.
Oh, there are a few Indians that have money.
Oh, yeah.
Indians from India. I mean, they're a very poor country.
Yeah.
Like Brazil is the top 1%. It's the cream of the crop, but everybody else is dead poor.
You can just.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
It was just interesting and wonderful.